That's just a literal fact with data, and they took it personally, which I thought was really weird. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm glad we're not in there anymore. That was weird.
Okay, well, there you go. Howdy, sir. How are you? People really seem to like the last video that we did when you were shopping for a 1000. So this is a area of expertise for Ryan because he is currently the owner of a 600cc motorcycle.
It's white. It's pretty much.
So are you.
Half.
Here we are, Harley Davidson, right?
Yeah, brother.
Harley dealer, I promise you.
This is a real rider right here.
Oh my
That's
God.
dedication.
Dude, it is like 30 degrees out today. Shaking. 35 degrees here today at Thrill Point Motorsports, which is another Japanese, like it's like a various brand dealership. They also take in a lot of different used motorcycles, so I'm hoping that they have a selection. Again, I didn't really look online to see what they have. I think I know a guy who works here, so I should probably let him know. Yeah.
What is this? I don't know anything about Repsol.
So this is a Honda CBR 600RR. This is like, Honda's weird because they still produce this to this day. This is an old one. This is like a 2008 or whatever. This is like back when, or like a 2014 or something. I don't know.
It's gotta be special.
Oh, it's a 2013. What's interesting about this bike is they still make this exact same model to this day in 2024 or 2025. They just came out with a new color for this exact same model with like these really crappy, this screen that they still make to this day.
It still looks exactly like that, like no color, no TFT.
Yeah, no color, no TFT. Nothing. Yeah, no screen, nothing. It's cool, though, because they're one of the last manufacturers that still has like an underselling exhaust, but
does that get probably pretty hot under there?
It does. That's a disadvantage a lot of people don't realize. Even though it's an inline four, since the pipe's right there, still gonna cook your legs. Not a great middleweight. If you're buying this version of the 600 in this day and age, not great. Really cool that this dealership has, basically, since it has no miles on it, it's an brand new R6 from, I believe this is a 2019?
It is
it's a 2017. This is a 2017.
It has 14 miles on it.
14 original miles on a Yamaha R6. I wish they had it on the floor so you could sit on it and feel how uncomfortable these bikes are, but...
Are they uncomfortable?
They are extremely uncomfortable.
I always thought they'd be kind of nice. They look sweet.
It's so
it just looks like a baby R1.
Came out in 2017, yet it still looks modern. It still looks better than like the R9 that just came out. That's what's cool. I don't know, I'm a big fan of it, but problem is, since it's a 2017, still has the old dash. These bikes are notoriously, they just don't have any torque. They're such dogs to ride. I've ridden one because one of my friends a few years ago had one. They just suck. They're just not good bikes to ride.
Well then, like, why are they so highly coveted? Like, you look at transaction values.
I mean, if I had to theorize why people like these things, I actually owned one of these bikes, so I can talk about these things. Those of you who've been watching my page, particularly my TikTok for a long period of time, would know I owned a 636, and that's kind of like what I started making videos on. Make about 120 horsepower, make a decent amount of torque compared to the R6, at least make more torque than an R6. The only issue I have with these bikes though is the Daytona exists, which instantly blows this bike out of the water. Compared to your Daytona, what's the quality feel like? You're the middleweight master here. You're the one who rides a 600cc. No, I'm serious. You ride a 600cc all the time, so.
Middleweight master. I would say like, the Triumph, maybe like some of the switches and stuff maybe feel just a little bit nicer. I do like the screen a little bit more on the Daytona, I think, because you can like do a different backlighting on them. I don't know if this has got like shift lights or any of that even really matters. It's just personal preference. I'm also used to the Daytona, so like I am a little bit more biased towards that one, but
this is hard to judge because this is technically like the older model of 636. Like this is a 2019 to 2023. It's 2024, they refreshed 22. It, gave it a better screen, give it a better look, but buying one of these used, you could probably find one for like $7-8 grand, which is good. But I still think like if you're shopping for like this kind of bike, like I still think the Daytona's better, and that's what's hard. Yeah, it's so hard.
I mean, also like immediate takeaways, it is like significantly wider than what I'm used to. There's just more twixt my legs.
Yeah,
which is fine. Like it's really not bad. I think this have like decent character. Like obviously in power band they sound really nice. I'm used to a 3-cylinder noise, so this is a little bit more of a screamer, where mine's, I don't know, the Daytona's just got a really unique sound, but that's also like part of the character that I really like about that bike.
I will say though, these things are extremely reliable and really easy to get parts for, so if you break something,
and they're like user friendly. Like this is I mean, a lot of the middleweights are going to be ones that you could just hop on, but you know, going from like something like a 400, especially if you start like at a Ninja 400 or a Ninja 500 and you just jump right up to middleweight, this does make a lot of sense. You see some familiar stuff. Mike Wazowski.
R7s they have two R7s sitting over here. This was another middleweight bike that I really wanted to talk about because it's so popular. I mean, it's been really popular over the past few years. Wow, this one is beat.
Is it?
Oh my God, look at those fairings, dude. That's disgusting. What is that? It looks like they rattle can that.
Maybe this R7 then.
Yeah, let's talk about this R7 in particular. I don't know if we can drag this one out. This one's a little tight. That's so tight. This is Ryan's attempt at squeezing into a motorcycle.
I like these. I've always liked the R7. When I had the FZ07, I actually wanted an R7 instead, but the FZ07 was like way easier to find. Well, would you consider this starter or middleweight?
The R7 is 100%. I mean, it could be both, really, depending on the personality of the person buying it.
It is 100%, 50%, either one of the two.
I still have to, dude, it's a middleweight because somebody who has self-control and can actually like ride a motorcycle, like let's say they rode a bunch of dirt bikes as a kid and this is their first street bike. Someone can absolutely start on an R7. It's like not enough power that someone can yeet themselves into existence, but it's still like it's enough power to have a lot of fun.
Would you like, because I've recommended this to people as a first bike. Do you think this is too much for a first bike?
Absolutely not. It's only like 70 horsepower.
Okay, so I would consider that a middleweight.
I think it's up to debate because there is a bike below this. It's the R3. That's like the true beginner bike.
Yeah, for sure.
I still consider this a middleweight because if somebody who knows how to ride, they can still, like I own an MT-07 and I would consider myself like a pretty intermediate to expert rider at this point. I can still have a lot of fun in an MT-07.
So I don't know, where would you classify V2? I know that I probably don't have any V2s here. Would you classify
the
that
old
as a
V2 or the new one? I'm assuming like the 155 horsepower. That's above a middleweight.
Is it above middleweight?
I would, V2 and another bike that we're going to talk about, the Gsxr 750 over there, are like kind of in a class of their own. And we're going to get into that.
Okay.
I think. Because the middleweight segment is so weird these days because there's bikes like below the middleweight segment, kind of like the R7, that don't really quite fit in there. But then you also have bikes like the Gsxr 750 that are still being made to this day that are kind of like above the middleweight class. So it just kind of depends on who you're asking. Speaking of the devil, here's a 750 right here. This is a Gsxr 750. Now, this is a bike that's been long in debate. I think it's like 140 horsepower.
Yellow
130. They're a little bit over the middleweight setting. Yeah, this is a 750 right here.
I'm gonna sit on it.
Yeah, you can sit on it.
I'm gonna sit on it.
So Suzuki's been making this bike for like literally years. Like since I think the last redesign it had was in 2012. So this is like a 14-year-old bike at this point. I don't know. I'm quick math.
They still make the 750?
Yeah, they still the exact same form that you're seeing it in right now. It's still being made to this day.
No change.
No changes. I mean, which is fine because it's still a good bike, and the fact that it's cheap. Like Suzuki doesn't really raise prices, but.
This versus Daytona.
Oh, I'd still take the Daytona all
Gotcha.
day.
What about performance-wise? Does this make it more powerful?
Oh, and performance? Oh, this is way more powerful.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's got like a lot more horsepower, a lot more torque. Yeah, but that's why it's weird because it uses an inline four motor.
Okay.
But it's not a 600. It's not a 1000. It's in its own little like class area.
It's a 750.
It's a 750.
So it doesn't feel too wide, which is like something that I'm conscious about, and that's why I went with Daytona because it's so narrow. It doesn't feel like, I call it like the jet ski factor. Does it feel like a jet ski?
Yeah.
This doesn't feel entirely like a jet ski to me, which is kind of nice.
That's probably a good thing.
I just wish I could ride all the bikes. I just want to ride them all.
You could probably talk to them one day
just
about
try
that.
them.
Yeah, Brembo brakes. I mean, it's got a good suite of stuff. I mean, no electronics, which is, again, is probably a good thing. But again, this, along with the old Panigale V2, the 155 horsepower, that 2024 one, they exist in their own little class, and they're weird and they're cool. But definitely
and fully
have to
considered
be
a sport bike,
person.
right?
What?
Fully considered a sport bike?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay,
This is a full sport bike. You could take these on track, dude. Like they are fully set up, ready to go.
I'll take it. Wrap it up.
Nope, don't do it.
Not over the Daytona.
Need one of these. Need one of those.
A Gsxr?
The Gsxr Suzuki.
The 1000?
Every R6, I think, possibly in existence over here. All for sale for probably $18,000.
Yeah. Like,
What's your favorite color, at least out of them?
out of these?
Yeah.
Probably black. Although, like, normally I don't like gray stuff, but this actually looks pretty good in the matte gray.
I agree. I kind of like the gray.
Yellow's fun. I like this one.
I think we can sit on it here. Wait. Since I was so adamant about roasting the R6 earlier, let me prove my point here. So it's hard for me to prove my point without being able to ride my bike, but let me just show you guys something real quick. The R6, yeah, these pegs are extremely high up, by the way. So you're gonna be riding around like this everywhere. The torque numbers on these are not fantastic.
How are you gonna be riding it?
Like this.
Now watch your back real good, like.
Dear God. There's just no amenities on these things. There's no cruise control, there's no electronic throttle, there's literally nothing. Has ABS, not much technology, which can be a good thing. Let's turn that screen on, huh? They have the wrong key for this thing. Oh, there we go, happy day. Now we can show off the screen. 16,000 miles. These things are reliable, I will admit. Looks pretty good for 16,000 miles, I will say. And look, I'm gonna sound like the bad guy because a lot of people love these bikes and they have a cult following, but my opinion is my opinion because I've ridden it. and I've ridden its competitors, and I just know that torque numbers on a bike matter. And if you're going to spend especially $14,000 on a motorcycle, I think that they're a better option.
That's a lot for 600.
Oh, so we're leaving, right?
We're leaving very happily. That was so weird.
Yeah, I don't. All right. That was the
so
throw
weird.
point experience, right?
I guess so, man.
We didn't really get to finish what we were talking about, but bad taste in our mouth leaving that dealer, and we're going to get into that.
It's not like we literally at no point did we ever say, oh, this place is charging too much for these bikes. That's ridiculous. No.
So while we were just we were filming with the R6, that last little clip that you guys just saw, right?
It was weird. So we're like on the R6, we're talking about them. R6s traditionally, you can look at like Cycle Trader or the internet and see that they transact a little bit higher. Like asking prices on R6s are higher. And there was a gentleman inside, came up to us and was like, hey, I appreciate you guys like filming with the content, but we'd appreciate it if you don't ever badmouth our prices ever again. I don't want to hear it again. And
it was the tone of voice that he said it to.
Yeah, it was the tone of voice. It was definitely, I don't know, that could have been handled a little bit differently. And it's not like we at any point said that they were overpriced here, specifically at this dealer. The R6 as an entity is higher priced than other 600s. That's just a literal fact with data, and they took it personally, which I thought was really weird. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm glad we're not in there anymore. That was weird. It just made, like, I don't know, it's just uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't like that.
Well, we were on a time crunch today, so I'm kind of glad that we just decided to leave, but
that's fine.
Yeah, wow. I guess we're not coming back here to film any more videos.
I guess not.
Yeah, I don't like people telling me what I can and cannot film, and someone's gonna tell me like I can't talk about the prices. Maybe don't post those prices.
And also, let it be known, there were no prices listed on any of these bikes.
Yeah,
the only thing listed on the tag is the year and the mileage. We don't know how much those bikes cost. We're saying based off of what we've seen online. Again, Marketplace, Cycle Trader, other dealers. That's where these bikes are transacting for. I have no idea how much that bike was. You had no idea how much that bike was.
Yeah.
We're going based off of experience here. And for him to be like, don't badmouth our prices.
Yeah.
Wild.
Absolutely. I kind of just want to add like to the little, because we kind of calmed down a little bit. Like, okay, like you don't want to walk into a dealership and deal with people filming at your dealership who are like bad-mouthing things, but we weren't bad-mouthing it. We were just stating that like R6s in general are overpriced.
For sure.
On the market.
Yeah.
And that dealership in particular has one that has like very low miles, and they have it listed for $18,000. I'm not saying that they're in the wrong for that. Like that's not.
Yeah, find
their
another
fault.
one with 14 miles on it. You're not. So like when you have something like that, you can command a price that's out of the ordinary. It's an outlier.
Yeah.
But that dude definitely took that personally.
So to be 100% clear, while we were filming with the R6s, as soon as I turned the camera off, one of the salesmen walked up and said, hey, we appreciate you filming at our dealer, but please don't badmouth our prices again. With a tone that, maybe I'm crazy here. Am I crazy for saying that it was a little bit of a negative tone?
I work in retail, in automotive sales. I would never speak to a customer with that type of tone.
Yeah.
Ever.
So, not a great experience overall. So, not much of a lesson to learn from that.
Just a little fucky wucky.
Yeah, I don't think he should.
Put that in your video.
I don't think he had to do that. But sorry to end the video with bad vibes. But yeah, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button.
When it gets warmer out, the vibes will be better.
Yeah, we'll go to a different dealer next time if you guys want to see more middleweight content. So stick around for that. Bye bye.